Thought I'd try digging some clay today. Found this cut that looks like it's cut for a pipeline. And this sort of red stuff there and the gray stuff looks like it just might be clay. I took a sample of this earlier and slaked it in some water. And it has clay properties. I don't know how plastic it's going to be or how high firing it'll be or how low firing. But thought we'd grab a sample here and give it a try. I'm down in the bottom of this trench that's been cut, and there has been some standing water in this trench, and the clay has been slaked out. You see these big plates where the ground is cracked? The bigger the plate, the more indicative it is of plastic clay. The smaller the plates, if you come up on an area like this, generally means that there's more organic material or rocks or bigger materials, but the clay particles tend to stick together until the very last and they form these big cracks. So I'm going to pick up some of this from the bottom of the trench here. You can see the different layers here, where it's layered up right along the edge. That's all some fairly fine clay. Well, here's our little sample at home. I didn't collect a great deal to test because the source is close to our home, so I can go back and get more if it works out. It's probably about 20 pounds or so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little water with it and that's a little excess water with it. So when I mix it up, all the particles of clay and everything would get saturated with water. And also, when I pour this through a screen, it'll help separate out some of the organic materials and some of the pieces of rock and root and stuff like that. So I'll take it inside and mix it up. Well, here I am with the handy dandy paint mixer. I'm going to whip this into a frenzy. You can see some of the roots and some of the organic material sticking to the beaters here. That's all right. Let's take a look and see what this looks like. Ooh, nice. Well, it's difficult not to lick your fingers here, but try to resist that. I'll let this set for a while and pour it through a screen and show you what it looks like. Here's our clay, all mixed up nice and soupy. And I've let it set for about 24 hours so that all the little particles of clay have gotten re-wetted. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pour some of this through a screen to screen out the lumps and bumps and rocks and things like that, organic material. So we'll do that in just a minute. I apologize for the wind today. We're out here in the outback, in the backyard, and I have the clay that is all mixed up. I have another bucket that I'm going to transfer this clay into, and we're going to screen it. Now here's a Jim Dandy little screen, if I can hold it and hold the camera and all that stuff here. Hold on. Whoa, here we go, have a trip. Whoa, there's the sun, there's the sun. Okay, this is my handy dandy little screen here. This is the top of a 5-gallon bucket. If you cut it off just below the handle all the way around, then take the top of the bucket, cut it out. I just use a saber saw to do that. Then you trap a piece of screen wire. You can get screen in different mesh sizes, but for doing the clay, I just use a piece of window screen. Aluminum, don't use the fiberglass stuff, it'll wear out in about 10 minutes. Okay, so you just sort of trap that screen between the lid and the side, and then use the Handyman's secret weapon, duct tape, to seal it all up around the edge. And you can hang it on the wall with the handle when you're all done. Makes it real easy. Okay, let's see how this works. First we're going to take it and we're going to put it over this bucket. What's nice about that bucket and these 5-gallon buckets is that they just, 5-gallon trash cans, that they just fit right together like that. Handy dandy, easy easy. Now how am I going to pour this big bucket of clay with one hand? I don't know. Oh, okay, we'll get a scoop. That's good. Hold on. Now normally if I'm not videoing, I would simply pick this bucket up and pour it through that screen. But since I have to have one hand free, got my handy little, we made cake with that last night, I think. Isn't that nice? Okay, anyway, going to get some of the batter here. Ooh, good stuff. Bring it over. Like I say, if I were doing this without showing you, I would have already poured that whole 5-gallon bucket into this thing. Okay, once you get the screen full, you can bounce this whole deal around a little bit. And you can see some of the little lumpy clay particles there. I just take my hand and sort of clean the screen, bump it around like that, knock it through, and you can see some little grass and stuff collecting. Maybe you can't see that. The sun's going down too. See little grass and stuff collecting there, little few little rocks. Okay. And you just keep doing that. And doing that. Shaking it. And you can use a rubber scraper to scrape this surface if you like. I like just using my hands. It's clay. You need to use your hands. So you can see some of the little things that are collecting here. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this through and I'll show you what comes out of it. Hold on. Well, here's what's left after spinning that several gallons of slip. And you can look in that and you can see some little rocks and some little roots. But nothing really big, nothing bad. Pretty smooth. So just rinse out your screen and you're ready to go again with that. And here is our beautiful pottery jug batter right here. Yep. Dug right out of the ground just like a folk potter otter. Yeah. Do some more. I rinsed the clay off of the debris that we have in the screen just to show you what is under the clay. And we have here some bug parts. There's a nice bug of some kind, larva. We have a lot of little pieces of quartz in here. A little gravel, a few roots, a few weed leaves, and a few more insect parts. And you can find sometimes you'll find fossils in this stuff. You can find arrowheads in it sometimes. I found some gold in it once, I thought. I thought I was rich. It turned out it was little pieces of iron pyrite. So I'm still making pots for a living. Didn't get to retire early. But that's the kind of stuff that you don't really want in there. Well, the next step here is we're going to dry some of the slip out on a piece of plaster. And I don't dry the whole bucket all at one time because I want to do some more tests on it and see if there's something else I'd have to add to it. So I take a big scoopful there, pour it right out here. Looks like pancake batter there almost. And I'll let that dry for however long it takes for the plaster to soak the moisture out of it. Then we'll wedge it up and test it.